Hey everyone, I'm your host, Chanel Omari, and we're here at the Bryant Park Hotel in New York City, and we have a very special guest today. He is a legend, he is an icon. You definitely want to get to know him, and he's changing the entertainment industry for good. Please welcome the talented, the amazing director, actor, and producer of one of my favorite films, First We Take Brooklyn. Danny A is in the building.
Thank you very much. Why do you keep saying legend?
Okay, can I tell you why?
Yeah.
So for those of you who don't know,
Okay.
I followed you when you were the king of nightlife. When
Okay.
talking about the king of nightlife is, correct me if I'm wrong, you were the it person in the hospitality industry. You were with Kate Moss, all the models.
Yeah,
Leonardo DiCaprio,
we
taking
know
the
that.
celebrities.
But does that make me a legend? I mean, I
Bungalow
would say
8.
Marlon Brando is a legend.
Doing, well, your movies,
Well, maybe,
over
yeah.
13 movies, directing and producing. I think you're changing the game for generations.
Do you think so?
I do.
Oh, I appreciate that.
I do.
All right, well, thank you.
Or maybe I should say, you will be a legend.
A future legend.
A future legend.
Yeah.
But you are an icon. You're an influencer.
Thank you
A
very
lot
much.
of people respect you. A lot of people know you.
Thank you.
And the funny part is a lot of people don't realize how many movies you've actually acted in.
23, right?
Yeah.
23, 24?
And 3 movies coming out, right?
Well, I have a
Davys Way.
Davys Way, which is a documentary,
Okay.
which is great. And it's about this actor, Robert Davi, which everyone knows from Goonies and,
Yeah.
And all that stuff. And he is a huge Sinatra fan. He goes around the world singing Sinatra music, the Great American Songbook, but a lot of it is Sinatra. And he did his first movie with Frank Sinatra, and Frank Sinatra actually took him under his wing, and he fell in love with him.
Wow.
And he wanted to throw a tribute to his 100th birthday and recreate the main event that Sinatra did in '74 in Madison Square Garden.
Now, the idea I have, did you ever see the 1974 concert at Madison Square Garden called The Main Event? The boxing
Yeah,
ring?
he's in the ring, yeah, of course.
And I would like to recreate that night at Madison Square Garden.
So he comes to me. I met him on The Iceman. He was an actor in The Iceman. And I was like, look, I think it'd be a great documentary to try to go and do this. So we followed him for 2 years as he tries to do it, and it's hysterical. Let's just say it doesn't all work out the way he actually planned it, but it's great.
But I need you to help with maybe getting somebody. Busta Rhymes. You know any females?
Here's the thing.
Florida would be nice.
Here's what.
Adele?
And when can we, when is it coming
July
out?
13th.
And when can we watch it? On
It'll
demand?
be on theaters.
Oh, it'll be
We're gonna
on
be
theaters.
day and date. It'll be day and date, like on theaters on the 13th and in iTunes and Amazon, blah, blah, on the 17th.
Great, well, I can't wait for that. And this one, First We Take Brooklyn. So we're going to talk about First We Take Brooklyn, and that's the first movie you directed, produced, and acted in.
Yeah, and I co-wrote it.
And you co-wrote it.
I never even thought about directing, but I tried to find the right director because when we wrote it, I wanted it to be very raw and real and have a lot of Hebrew in it, and be very Israeli, like in the mentality and the mannerism and all that stuff. And then I just started interviewing all these directors. No one got it. They were just like, they didn't understand really just the way I wanted to tell the story. And in my pitch, and then when they started giving me their views on it, I was like, oh, no, right? So interviewed 1, 2, 3. And then I just thought to myself, I was like, I might have to direct this movie if I really want to make it. But I don't want to do that, right? Because I knew how hard it is, because I wanted to star in it. But then as it got closer and I couldn't find the director, I was like, oh my God, I might actually direct this. And I didn't realize what directing this movie and acting in it would take, but it was crazy. So what I did was I hired a consultant, someone to stand behind the monitor that speaks Hebrew, that I can speak to in Hebrew and ask questions without offending, the actors, because I wanted to know how is it going, how am I doing, does it, we're getting what we're getting.
Oh, that's
and
amazing.
that was able to help me because I had eyes, because I literally had to run behind the monitor, watch the first take, see how I like the frame, and then, come back. It was, yeah, but we did it.
So the movie's based about, talk to us a little bit about the character in the movies.
As a kid, I heard about all these Israeli gangsters and stories in the papers about them coming to Brooklyn and, creating all this chaos and craziness. And I was always fascinated. I was like, who are these people? Like, who the hell, does that, right? I started researching all these different stories. It's not based on any particular one story. It's just kind of like But they all came to Brooklyn or Queens, you know, and they would just had their own rules and just did their own thing, but not like the regular mob. So I started researching it and I decided to create the home character. So when we started writing it, you know, I gave him a name, Mickey, because I thought it was cool.
Not to change gears, but you're talking about also like getting ready for a character, and specifically in First We Take Brooklyn. What did you have to do to prepare for the role of Mickey? Since it wasn't really your story, you know, you had to actually research it, and what do you do to prepare
as an
for
actor?
roles as an actor?
Well, so these Israeli, you know, gangsters, they have like their own little language and manner. It's really about the body language. It's the way they stand. I don't know if you noticed in the movie, I stand like this and I talk with my hands. It's little things that you can't really pick up on, but in my personal life, I don't talk like that. But it's very like aggression. I would say, like, right, I'm about to go into a fight. Every time I'm about to go do a scene, I would be like, and like literally like prepare myself like I'm about to kill somebody, but then I'm just talking to him. I'm like, yeah, what's going on? How you doing? What's up? You know, because they're always mad.
Right,
you know
right,
I mean?
right. Like he's always
It's
mad.
really just
you really did a fantastic job.
Thank you. It's just body language. It's just the way they talk. They're always like aggressive, and they're always like in
like
your
they're
face,
teaching you a lesson, right?
Yeah, it's always like, you know, and with their hands and all that. So I knew a few people that I didn't tell them I was watching them, but I was watching them, and the way they talked, the way they held their cigarette, the way they, things like that. Other than that, I didn't really do much.
And how, talking about just getting prepared for an acting role, coming from the nightlife, transitioning into the movie or into Hollywood, was that a challenge? What did you have to do to get through those challenges?
Well, I was acting as a kid. You know, I did music videos, commercials. You know, when I was very, very young. So, but acting just comes natural. The minute like I have to do it, I just literally put myself in the situation like I'm there and this is really happening.
And just because you were friends, right, or you were working with the celebrities then, didn't mean, did they help you with the movie world? Did they, or did you really do all this on your own?
A lot of my friends that are actors, what they really helped with was advice, you know, and just like, you know, I remember a friend of mine telling me that, you know, acting is reacting. You know, when someone's doing a scene with you, it's not about, you know, the actor's like, just because most actors.
As I'm doing this to you, by the way.
Most actors, what they do is they want to remember their lines. They're so nervous. So literally they just think about their lines. So when you're talking to them, they're like this, just dying to like wait till you finish so they can say their line, you understand?
Yeah.
And that's the worst thing in the world. If you actually listen to the other actor, then all you need to do is just answer him and react to it.
What a great point though for actors. That's easy, or easier said than done.
Easier said than done.
And then we have The Irishman with Robert De Niro.
Big
deal, Martin Scorsese.
Martin Scorsese directed. Robert De Niro, Al Pacino, Joe Pesci, Harvey Keitel.
Do people tell you that you look like Al Pacino?
I get it all the time.
Like literally, that's crazy that you're doing the movie with him.
You know, I don't have any scenes with him. Most of my scenes with Robert De Niro. I have, you know, it's a small role.
So how did it come about? Like how did The Irishman come about?
So I wanted to be in this movie so bad. I mean, you have no idea. I mean, it's like I would have done anything to be in this. If they would have told me to be a fly on the wall, I would be a fly on the wall. So when I heard that it's like a go, I tried to get an audition. I finally got an audition. I went in, I read, and she was like, okay, it's great. And she called me back. She's the biggest casting director in New York, probably in the world, Ellen Lewis. She does all Scorsese.
She's tough.
Oh, she's very tough. But she's the sweetest.
Yeah, she's the she's the nicest person.
She's the sweetest, right? And she's like, oh, that's great, Danny, that's great. But you're not right for this one. Yeah, you know, I knew friends that know her, and everyone was trying to see if they could find something for me. Then Scorsese and De Niro actually watched a few scenes from First We Take Brooklyn. And then once they saw that, they were like, okay, he might be right for this. And I kept going in for different parts. But I got this role of this guy, Louis. He's a deadbeat. And then when I actually went to shoot the movie, we literally improvised a whole other, you know, all these scenes became much bigger and better, and it was insane.
Wow.
I mean, I can't even explain it.
Isn't improvising so much better though? Like you said, because you're just reacting.
Well, when you're
yourself.
improvising with Robert De Niro, it's like.
How did that feel? Like Robert De Niro?
You have no idea. I literally cannot explain it to anyone unless you've been in that moment. To be in a Scorsese movie, doing the scene with Robert De Niro, my first scene,
When I saw the photo on Instagram even, I had chills. I'm like, wow.
You have no idea. But I'm the type of person where I just literally, you know, when I left my trailer and they walked me to set, I literally had to talk to myself. I was like, okay, you put yourself in this position, now you're here. This is it. No fucking around.
And you can't turn back.
There's no turning back. All your friends, every person you ever met in your life is going to see this. The biggest movie of the last 20 years. You have to do this. And once I woke myself up, I was like, you know, to myself, I said, fuck this. This is it, like all in. And I gave everything I got. And it was great.
I know you didn't have scenes with Al Pacino, but did you meet him? Were you able?
He's a good friend of mine.
Oh wow! And
yeah,
so
Al Pacino and I are friends.
So are we going to expect a movie with the two of you actually
I
having a
hope
lot
so.
of scenes soon together?
I hope so.
You playing maybe a younger version of him?
I would love that.
His son or something?
I would love that. I mean,
that.
I have some things in the works that I would love. But you have to understand, he's such a big actor, and at his age, he's only doing stuff that he really, really, really loves. So, you know, we'll see.
We'll see. Well, stay tuned for that. And when is The Irishman coming out? Or when can we expect
2019, so
2019.
next year. At some point, I don't know when.
What was the biggest obstacle or challenge you had to face in your life and that you actually overcame, and what's your advice for us to overcome obstacles?
So, because I was successful, I guess you could call it, in nightlife, and I've met so many people, it's very difficult for people to see me as a filmmaker, because they're like, that's Danny, you know, it's like, but now, in the last year, with first we take Brooklyn and The Irishman, and I think now things are starting to change, but no matter what, the people that have known me in nightlife, in their mind, I'm always gonna be that guy. She's annoying.
How do you respond, like, if people with rejection? Like, do you keep going? Do you not care? Do you not listen to it? Do you laugh at it?
The thing that motivates me more than anything in the world is when someone says I can't do something.
So the best advice you can give us is basically believe in yourself no matter what.
Yeah, but you also need to be smart, be calculated. You know, you have to be realistic. The reality is that, you know, it's very tough. And I look at life as, what is success, right? And a lot of people look at success as money, and I look at it totally different. I look at it being, if you're happy, then you're successful. And for me, it makes me happy to do what I want to do, which is make movies. So as long as I'm happy doing it, then I'm successful. If someone else thinks if I drive a Ferrari means I'm successful, that doesn't mean anything to me.
Right.
You know, I don't look at that as success. Look, you know, at the end of the day, money comes with it, but the reality is I get to do what I want. To me, that's success. You know, as long as I get to do it. Now, of course, I want people to watch, you know, what I make and enjoy it and have it be successful, because I can continue to do it.
Right.
You understand?
But
I'm
it's
not
about
making
happiness,
it,
really.
Yeah, I'm not making it just because I want to show everyone that, look, I can be successful. That's not the purpose, so.
God willing, at the Oscars, I'll be cheering you on. B'ezrat Hashem, Hashem, Amen. Right?
You. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Danny A, for being here. Guys, make sure you check out First We Take Brooklyn, a great movie right now on demand, and The Irishman, Davys Way, and more. Follow Danny A at Danny A on Instagram, right?
Danny A27 on Instagram.
Follow Danny A at Danny A27 on all social media platforms. On Instagram, Facebook is...
Facebook, yeah.
Twitter?
Instagram.
Just keep it Instagram.
Yeah, just Instagram.
Right, Danny?
Absolutely.
And we'll see you soon. Thank you so much.